Everyone's calling you Edge. May I call you Edge? Is that okay for me?
Edge is in the building.
Edge is in the building. I'll tell you who else is in the building. The Indianapolis Colts.
Of course.
How about that squad of yours? My goodness, sitting at 5-1. What do you credit to the success that they're having early on here?
Well, I think this year is totally different, but it starts at the top with the big three. I call them the big three. The daughters have taken over this thing. They got this thing lined up the right way, and everybody's buying into it. So you see the Indianapolis Colts doing what they're supposed to do, and you're going to be shocked by what this team does.
Yeah, I mean, in doing it with Daniel Jones playing great football and also Jonathan Taylor. My goodness.
Oh, yeah. It starts with the running game. My boy JT, running backs, always pull for the running backs. But you got Daniel Jones that come from New York.
Yep.
One man's trash, another man's treasure. So that's what we did.
You talked about the big three at the top, the daughters. Like, how does the team feel about having the daughters? Like, she's on the field, man. She's front and center, man. How do they?
They buy into it. That's where it's like a family over there. And then when you see an owner that's out there, that means a lot. They get to actually see what's going on. And from a player's perspective, you got somebody out here that's really, really paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah. I love it. Well, right now, who is their biggest threat, you think, in the AFC South? I know the Jaguars are playing right now. We won't focus on that because you're watching this show.
Before this game, I was saying the Jacksonville Jaguars. But still, Indianapolis Colts, 5 out of the last 6 games has been a problem against the Jaguars. So I'm going to stick with the Jacksonville Jaguars as being the threat. But we're not going to go off today's game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today is not a good showing.
Well, we'll switch divisions here for a second. Jay, I worked that game on Thursday night. Joe Flacco's showing off with the Bengals against Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, and the Steelers. What's the sort of the vibe right now in Pittsburgh after that loss?
Well, things are different. Normally, it's like, man, how can the Steelers fix their offense? For the first time since Roethlisberger and Bruce Arians are there, don't have to worry about that. Arthur Smith, I told you, Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers. Remember, before the season, I'm like, Aaron, this is where you want to go because you and Arthur Smith will be like the 2 old guys from the Muppets who just rag on everybody, and that's exactly what they've become. It's great, but they don't have to worry about it. So now this allows Mike Tomlin to go, okay, I don't have to spend any time over there. His specialties defense, I can go kind of work with the defense a little bit more. So I would say you panic less because they have where they're struggling right now is really where their strengths are. They know they'll figure that out.
Okay. To another division, Charles, you gave your Raiders a pep talk last week, you and Howie did, and it worked, all right. Chargers, we know what they can do, but the Chiefs look like they're coming into their own. What is the state of the union in this division for you?
Man, the Chiefs, they say some lizards and some alligators can lose their tail when they're trying to get out of danger.
Wait, what?
They can lose their tail to get out of danger.
Lizards?
Some
really? Alligators? I know lizards.
Some alligators.
That?
Look it up.
Do they grow back? It grows back?
Look it up. And it'll grow back.
It'll go back. I see where you're going. I see you, Charles.
See where I'm going? So it'll have the same functionality, but it'll look a little different.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what the Chiefs are.
You're starting to sound like Bradshaw over here now.
He's been rubbing up on me.
Hey, you
think about this team, right? They lose Xavier Worthy in the first game of the season, and then they find Thornton. And now they got Rashee Rice coming back. You think about a few years ago when Tyreek Hill left. They said, oh, man, we don't have that deep threat anymore. What do? They changed into something else. Same functionality, but still can do a different functionality, but looks a little different. All right, so this Kansas City team, you can't kill them.
Yeah.
All right, they always find a way to get away from the Predators, and they're going to be at the top of that division.
Ed, you agree with that?
So,
you think the Chiefs?
I gotta disagree. I'm going with the number 1 team right now.
With who in that division?
My Colts.
In the AFC.
This team has just gotten together, and they're only going to get better. The running game started off. You're going to see Daniel Jones improve. We have a tight end that's a rookie that's actually leading the team. So as the team started to gel and get better and better.
Hey, the Chiefs got a tight end that ain't a rookie.
Hey, Lou,
that leads all tight ends in the playoffs.
I think he has other priorities.
As we move through the divisions here, we got to focus there on that AFC East. Your Patriots, okay? Jules, playing good football. Buffalo has lost the last 2. Don't look like the Buffalo that we thought they were going to be. What's your opinion on that division right now?
There's a team that's trending up, and there's a team that's trending down. The team that's trending down is the Buffalo Bills. I'm hitting that panic button right now. They look light.
Wow.
They look light in the box. If I saw Edgerrin James running against the Buffalo Bills right now, Edge, I mean, he'd be running they're giving up 5.8 yards a carry right now, and that's not sustainable if you want to play late into the season when the weather starts to turn, the tackling gets worse.
Are you really panicking already?
I'm worried about them, yes, because it looks like their team's designed to beat the Chiefs with the 2 safeties. You got the coverage and everything, but they're just so light in the box that they can't defend the run, and they may not even get a chance to play the Chiefs. Now, the Patriots, on the other hand.
No.
Okay.
Now, the
No,
Patriots,
home
on
team.
the other hand, they just continue to get better and better. Drake May's playing really good, sound football. He's not turning the ball over. They got a running game going. And Vrabel's got that defense firing on all cylinders. Defense always gets better as the season goes on. There's more tape.
This is why we love
So I'm just telling you, the Buffalo Bills, they've been the big brother on the block for the last few years.
So are the Patriots going to win the division? Are the Patriots going to win the division?
They're going to win the division.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like
All
it.
right. Well, it's week 7. We're going to take a break here.
No, don't take a break yet.
Okay, Tony.
We can't take a break yet. We got Edge here. Man, a couple years ago, I'm out there at the Hall of Fame, I think with Steve Hutchinson and Jimmy Johnson's year. This dude's Hall of Fame speech was one of the greatest I've ever seen. We're back there. All the ex-players started going nuts during your speech. Check this out.
I appreciate that.
Presenting Edgerrin James.
My career started with gold teeth and ended with this gold jacket.
Got the good dress.
I love it.
Yeah.
You got the good dress on the bus.
What would you call it? Canton Correctional number? What was it?
Canton Correctional Institution.
Hey, what's your number? What's your number?
336.
Number 336.
336.
That was fantastic,
Gold teeth,
man.
the gold jacket.
Don't judge a
You know
book
how
by
to
its
do it.
cover. I love
So,
it.
Charles, how can this Cowboys defense, the 32nd ranked pass defense, contain Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, 32nd ranked pass defense, but also the last on third down defense.
Ooh.
So they got to find a way to get off of the field on third down. And I think that one of the things that they have to do on third down, because Jalen is so good at picking up, first downs on third down with his legs, is I think you got to have a spy. I think you need a linebacker like Kenneth Murray, or you need Donovan Wilson, a safety, to be a guy that keeps an eye on him on third down. So when the play breaks down and he gets ready to scramble, you have one of those guys that can run. You know what I'm saying? Linebackers and safeties can run with the quarterback. You got to get him down on third down. If these guys can't get off the field, right? We already understand what you just mentioned with them being last in passing defense. It's a long day for that secondary.
And also,
so you
no
gotta get that
Trayvon
guy
Diggs
down.
today either. He was out with a concussion and already depleted
So
secondary.
some guys got to step up.
So, Edge, Commanders, second in the league in rushing. How are they getting it done?
Well, first of all, this offseason, they went out and shore up the offensive line. They got a couple of free agent signings. And now you got 2 running backs that are hungry. They got 2 young running backs that are hungry because the other running back got hurt. And when you
Austin
have 2
Eckler got
running-
hurt, yeah.
As soon as somebody get hurt, like back at the University of Miami, when somebody got hurt, we'll be like, yo, bad. Because
My turn.
Y'all
it's
cold.
opportunity.
Get
to eat.
Like you,
Y'all was
players
cutthroat
league-
down there in Miami.
Yeah,
Man.
man,
And
you
that-
know what it's about.
And that young rookie, Bill Krosky-Merritt, what he's able to do. What do you like about his game?
You see the hunger in him. You see hunger, and he's very appreciative. You know, you see somebody like him that's going out there playing. He has somebody like Chris Rodriguez breathing down his back, waiting on the opportunity. So you have like a friendly competition, and you actually thrive off each other.
Yeah, we like that. Both coming off losses. Who do you like in this one?
I like the Commanders. I think this is a game where Jaden Daniels reminds the NFL why he was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the
Offensive
Year right
Rookie
there.
of the Year.
And also, Jaden Daniels loves playing against the Cowboys. He's got 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against the Cowboys. And then also, the other side is both these defenses are kind of in a struggle, kind of
Trying to find.
in limbo.
trying to find
Limbo.
they're in a limbo. But I always count on Dan Quinn. I played against them a bunch. Their defense are always on a line. They always play well. And they're averaging 3 sacks a game. They haven't had 3 sacks a game since 1991. You know what they did in 1991?
What'd they do?
They won a Super Bowl in 1991. So they got some defensive mojo going.
But when you look at this Commanders team, you're not worried. There's no Debo in this one. There's no Terry McLaurin.
No, this is why you drafted Jaden Daniels. This is we had him as the whiz kid up there. He's the Riz kid. This kid's got the Riz. He got game.
See, Edge knows he's cool. I'm not cool. I'm too old for this.
Come on,
Riz,
man. Get
what
with
is the
it.
definition of Riz?
Hey, I've used Riz.
Charisma. You
I've
see
used
those
Riz more than I've
glasses?
ever used it the last couple of days after
You
he
see
said
that? Charisma. Carissa.
You know what? I've changed my name to Charisma
Charisma.
for the rest of the show. Please
There it
call
is.
me that, not
Charisma.
Carissa anymore. But let's start with Carson Wentz. Jules getting the start again in place of an injured J.J. McCarthy. What do you expect to see out of him today?
I expect to see confidence.
Okay.
Off of the bye week, Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell, he talks about authenticity. I played with him back in the day, and that's what he always had. He was just always in tune guy. He was always a great locker room guy, and you've seen it transition into him being a head coach. He's gotten every quarterback to play relatively pretty well for him, and Carson Wentz gonna have to control his excitement going against his old team where he was an MVP almost, won a Super Bowl. So I have full confidence in Kevin O'Connell, getting him confident, getting him dialed down, settling him down, controlling his emotions, and then I also like B-Flow in that defense.
Yeah,
So
Brian Flores.
I'll let Charles handle the defense, but I like that B-Flow defense, man.
Before we get to the Brian
Flow.
Flores-led Vikings defense, Jay, we're going to talk about this Eagles team, okay? They've lost their last 2 games. You know, all the perception is the sky is falling, blah, blah, blah. What do we need to know about the Eagles?
Okay, first of all, defensively, at least they're like, all right, we get Jalen Carter back. That's huge for them.
Yep.
Offensively, you know, they're going to try and, let's say, simplify it a little bit as far as, look, let's put Jalen under the center, not just always back in shotgun, so that way we can get kind of more play action pass, things like that. Get back to their basics, so they're trying to work it. It's not, the wheels aren't coming off them. They are working together to try and figure out, man, what little thing is missing that we can just put that piece in, and then it'll start jobbing.
Saquon Barkley, edge, when you look at him, okay, it's easy to say, oh, he's not having the year that he had last year. That was all world. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but specifically when you look at him this year, what's changed for him?
You know, Saquon's averaging 3.4, but, you know, me and
Yards
Saquon,
per-
we text from time to time. And, you know, he reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about the running game, the struggles of the running game. And when you break it down, it's not him. You know, it's not him. He's doing what he's got to do. Maybe it's everything that's going on with the team. And
what advice did you give him?
For me, it's, hey, don't press. Make sure you don't press. Make sure you do all the things you do. But now you have to take it a little bit deeper and start talking to your offensive line, talking to your wide receivers, and helping those guys out. You know, doing the things that's going to take it to another level, because all you need is one big run, and your average goes up.
Well, you can't press if you ain't getting the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not getting the ball.
He's averaging, 16 carries a game right now. Last year, he was at 22. And I remember being at that championship game last year, and we saw that offensive line come out.
Huge.
We're like, holy cow, this is the biggest offensive line I've ever seen. But here's the thing. You talk to any offensive lineman, next time you do an interview an offensive lineman, ask them what they like to do.
Run the ball.
They like to run the
Go
football.
forward.
And they like a quarterback who gets rid of the ball fast.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That's not happening.
But they want to impose their will on the defense. And so we're talking about running the football. You got to give Saquon carries, but you also got to if you make the offensive line happy, trust me, things will start to fall into place, and then you can get the ball downfield to the other guy.
We hinted on it, but just real quickly, that Brian Flores defense for the Vikings, do you give them the edge to the Vikings, the edge today over the Eagles because of that?
Man, well, it depends on if the Eagles do what he just mentioned about this offensive line, getting those guys going. But I think in terms of if Philly comes out and says, you know what, we're going to get Jalen to throw the ball more, then that defense is going to throw him a lot of looks. He ain't going to be able to handle it.
Spin the dial.
Edge is my offensive lineman right here, the way he's standing. I could run behind this guy all day long.
Edgerrin James. It is good to have you here on Fox NFL Sunday, Edge.
Hey, man, I appreciate being here. No, every time I watch the show, I never see running backs get their perspective. And I think it's time for us to give our perspective, because we don't want to see everything. I'm behind the quarterback. I see everybody.
Well, we're going to have you solve the problems in Philadelphia today.
Well, why don't we just start with talking about running backs in general? Back when you played, running backs did everything. They were the workhorse, 300 carries a season, all that kind of thing. It disappeared for a while. Are we getting back to that?
That seems like it's coming back a little bit. You're having a 1A and a 1B, but you still have a feature back. And I think you need a feature back, and you need that competition, but you need the one guy that can get a feel for the game. As a running back, if I get 2 or 3 carries and I sit down for a couple drives, it doesn't work for me.
What about the two different styles? It's like in Detroit. It's speed and it's power. It's the two different kinds of running backs.
I did it all. So I don't I'm talking about something I can't relate to, because like for me, when I go, like, there's no way I'm going to be in a game. I can see my teammates out there playing, and I'm sitting on the bench. I want to be in the game, so I try to do everything I could to learn the passing game, to make sure that if I got to stand at the block.
Protection.
Because if you play with Peyton, you never know what you might get. It might be a pass play, but then he might hit one of those audibles, and you might just get a carry.
Well, the thing is, that's why you got the gold jacket, because you did all those things, man. Okay, I don't know if you've been watching Cam Scatterboo with the Giants, because he likes to hit more than linebackers. I'm just interested, what do you think about his running style?
I think his loved ones need to call him and talk to him and let him know, like, if you want to be around this game long enough, you need to change the way you run the ball. At certain times, if it's 3rd and 1 and we got to get a tough yard, let's get it. But let's not take unnecessary contact.
Edgerrin, that's how he played at Arizona State, though.
Yeah.
He knows no other way.
But that's college.
Yeah.
Now it's the pros, 17 games, and how long do we want to play?
Right.
Well, listen, the former Giant running back, Saquon Barkley, struggling this year. In Philly, what's the biggest thing you've seen differently this year as opposed to last year?
Well, there's a couple things, me and Saquon, we text from time to time, and, you tell him don't press because he's doing what he has to do, but when you don't have the opportunity, that right there affects you as a running back. And then if you look at that team, they have a lot of distractions. And once they get rid of those distractions and they give him the opportunity, then we can say that he's not having the year he's supposed to have.
You get 13-yard run and 18-yard run to start the game, and you end up with 12 carries.
Exactly. That doesn't make sense. You're just not getting the feel for it. So I don't think that's something that he should press or he should even worry about because it's not on him.
A guy who really took the ball and ran with it last week literally is the Bears running back DeAndre Swift. But he's not alone. When you look at it, since they got embarrassed by the Lions back in week 2, well, things have totally looked up for Ben Johnson and the Bears. In fact, no team in the league has a longer win streak than their 3 straight wins. Caleb Williams is putting up numbers the franchise has never seen at quarterback, and they've got a ball-hawking defense that's forced the most turnovers in the league during this run. The question is, will they keep it rolling today against the Saints? And I'll start with you, Edge. You look last week, Swift had 175 yards. He battled that groin injury this week, but can he and this offense keep it going?
No, that's the thing about playing the game. You're only one or two carries or one or two big runs from having a good day statistically. But when the team looks at it and they say, you know what, this actually works for us and we're going to commit to it and they buy into it, that's when you'll know if are they really there to run the ball or was it just one game? And once you open up that running game, which all offensive linemen love to run the ball, it's going to help the quarterback.
But that's what Ben Johnson does.
Yep.
Ben Johnson at Detroit, running was more important than passing, but they do such a great job, Ben Johnson does, creating passing for his young quarterback. And our graphic showed earlier the big change. When you see a football team getting turnovers, they're playing physical football on defense. And to me, not only with Johnson's great offensive mind, but the toughness and the game plans that he has for the Bears defensively, man, that's huge.
Gronk, can the Bears be that team that turns it around just like that with a new head coach?
Yeah, there's a team every year that does that, and I feel like it can be the Bears this year. Ben Johnson and the Bears, they had some growing pains at the beginning of the season, but they're learning from those growing pains. And you want those growing pains and get smacked in the face earlier in the season than later in the season. They get better every week, and what I really love what they're doing is they're protecting Caleb Williams this year. He's not getting a sack as much as he was last year.
Edge, great job representing the running backs today. You did it.
You already know, man.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate it.